Good morning, everyone. Computer game design, assignment 3. It asks you to create now game design documentation. So you've done your concept template or your concept document, which is just what you would send to a developer to try and get your idea off the ground. If a developer then says, yep, we like that, you need to create some game design documentation. This is a lot more detailed with a lot more titles, and they want to know the actual they want to know about the game itself now and the nitty gritty bits about the game. All right. So I'll give you a template here. So game design documentation for insert your game title here. Create it by, enter your name here. This is the table of contents. This is everything you're writing about. Now you're not telling me what these are. You're telling me about these in your game. So what's the overview of your game? Who are the main? Tell me about the characters in the game and who's the main characters in your game. So the characters might be, in general, 1960s war veterans in Japan. I don't know. Okay, who's the main characters and who's the important NPCs? The narrative, and you're answering all these. So you're telling me all about your game. What's the feedback interface in your game? What game engine you use to make your game? This is what then the developer say, you know what, make me this document and then we'll make a deal. So it's all pretty grand until you get to here. Now what I need you to do is brainstorms. Put in your brainstorms that I asked you to do back from one of your previous assignments. Then put in your market research. Then a flowchart. A flowchart looks as follows. Now you have this also. I'm going to send you this down. This is a very basic template that's been done for another game. So there's some of these. Their flowchart is whenever you turn your console or PC or whatever on, this is what goes to happen. So it opens up the title screen and then it'll bring up the main menu. Now from the main menu, you can either exit or you can start the game or how to play and ask how to play, and then you'll go back to the main menu. And then it'll be game start and you'll do level 1, level 2, whatever it is. You tell me how yours is going to go. If it's death, you go back to the main menu and you start again. Alright, so it's like a flow chart of how it very simply flows. So it does, how your game simply flows. A mood board, I'm not sure if you've done a mood board before or not. A mood board is a collection of images off the internet. Now it mightn't be exactly related to your game, but what it is that you're trying to portray a message. My game is based on the 1960s war in Japan, and it's on a wee island of Japan or whatever. And for me to try and start visualizing that is a bit difficult, and so is it the same for developers. So what you do is you get a collection of images online that reflects the mood of your game. All right. So you would get maybe some pictures of 1960 Japan, get pictures of, say, some troubling scenes in Japan, say, get some pictures of the soldiers in Japan, whatever. That's just only this random game I just made up there now. So you get a collection of images off the internet and you fill an A4 page to reflect the mood of your game. So I can look at your game and go, now I think I know where they're coming from. Then your storyboard. So storyboard, 2 or 3 levels are just little elements of the game. So again, just drawing them out and then take a picture and then put them in. And then some concept art. Now this person did their concept art digitally. You can do it in Photoshop if you wish, but you can also just draw it out. And don't need a load of concept art. Really, the more concept art, the better. It helps you get a higher grade. Um, Things you could draw would be the logo, would be the main character or the main NPC, a weapon, a vehicle, things like that there, a bit of architecture. Draw some elements that would be in your game so I can start to get a feel of, this is where they're coming from. And this is the kind of document you would create going into creating your own game. So these are all the contents. So it's going to be, I'd say you're looking here, folks, by the time you do add in your detail. Now remember, this is kind of the same as the other assignments. It's worth P3, M3, and D3. So the more detail about your game and the more creativity about your game, the better. It's very difficult. You can't really put in examples. Only examples you can put in is what you're talking about in your game that you want to create. All right. So that's computer game design, assignment 3, which is P3, M3, and D3.